guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and happy new year to you guys. I remember the last time I came here was like 2 to 3 months, but now I am fully back. I have something I want to also share with you guys later this year 2026, and I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also want to explain to you how to knit a long socks, a fair out long socks. This socks is something so dear to me because it was my favorite socks as at that time. That was 2021 stroke 2022. This was like my very favorite thing to do, to knit socks, and I made a lot of sales with it, and I'm so glad to share it with you guys. Now I'm going to be using a fair out punch card to achieve this, and you guys know I always explain some things to you. I'm going to also use my short comb, 2 balls of yarn because I'm working with a fair out pattern. Then I'm going to use a scissors, selector, transfer tool, and I'm going to also use a long needle. I not use it here because I'm working with a long socks, so I'm just showing you guys what I'm going to use. So my final length, I am going to just manual knit it. That's just what I'm going to do. Now the first step is for you to pass your strand of yarn through the antenna. This is very important while knitting. I would also advise you guys to always do this. This is the first step so that you don't have any issues while knitting. Now you pass your yarn through the antenna, then down to the can box. But before then, I also want to identify the stitches that I'm going to be using. You know, I showed you like a 50 by 50 comb. That's the short comb because I'm working with 43 needles, so you can either call it needles, pins, or stitches, whichever one is fine. Because I'm working with 43, that is one of the reasons why I'm using a short comb, because the short comb that I have is 50 by 50. So I'm going to identify stitches 43. That's 43 by my left hand side and 43 by my right hand side. So for me, right, I love to use my cam box is always by my left hand side because I'm left-handed. So if your cam box is by your right hand side, it's still fine. That's cool. So I'm going to use my selector to identify stitches 43. And for my casting on method, we have different types of casting on method, but I love to use this part, so I want you guys to also watch closely in case you want to use this my style of casting on. Now when I'm casting on, I like to start from the second needle, then the last needle will also move to position A. So I'm working with a 1x1 selector and I'm working with 1x1 stitches. So once I identify 43 rather, I just move it slightly to position D. The reason why I'm doing this is because of how I want to cast on. Then the next step is for me to use my brush to open the clips, or you can use your hand, whichever one works best for you is fine. The reason why I'm doing this, I'm using my brush to open the clips. So the reason why I'm doing this thing is for easy passage for my yarn. So once I start casting on, that's from next step is for me to hang my comb, my short comb 50 by 50. So one thing about this is you need to also place your comb very well, very important. You place it well, then you pass your yarn, your strand of yarn, it goes through the carriage, then you pass it. Now because I opened it with the brush, it's going to have a very smooth knit, a smooth casting on method. Very important, so please watch closely. This is very easy to knit, very easy. It's not as hard as what people think, because a lot of people have been asking me, how do you do your casting on method if you are not doing the A-wrap casting on? So I am not really a fan of A-wrap casting on. I only do that when necessary. So if I don't want to use my A-wrap casting on, this is what I love to do most times. Once you place your strand of yarn on the needles, so you just move it slightly from position D, because it's currently in position D, from position D to B, because B is the working position. We want to start the work, and as you're doing that, you have to be very careful. Now the remaining excess wool, you will just drag it through your antenna and use the last antenna to hold it so that it's going to push it. So I'm going to also show you while I'm doing this. Then you will now unhang your comb by bringing it down. Once you do this, because I'm working with a 50 by 50 comb, at the edge, that's my left hand side, it's going to pick like almost everything. So you just use your strand of yarn to just pick 2, because the rest are just picking 2. So you just bring it out and pick 2. After that, I'm going to use the last antenna to hold the strand of yarn, so it's going to pull it backward, which is very important. And this is to avoid excess wool or insufficient wool by the side. Once you do this, you'll be able to knit smoothly and you'll have a good finishing. Very important. So the next step is for me to, because I'm knitting a socks, the next step is for me to knit the rib part, because I'm making a very long socks and I used tension 5 rather. So I'm going to knit 40 times, just 40 times, then I double. So once I'm done with that, the ones in position A, I will bring them slightly out to position D. So I'm going to knit 40 times. Then after I knit 14 times, I'm going to double. As I said, the ones in position A, which is the dormant position. Now I'm done knitting 40 times. You just use your selector or you can use your hand, whichever one, to bring them out slightly. That's the ones in position A. You bring them slightly to position D because you want to double. Now when you want to double, you have to be very, very careful so it doesn't come out, because this is a very fragile part. If you don't turn it well, it can come out and you start from the beginning. So just watch this closely. As I said, then you use your transfer tool to pick the ones you casted on the very first time before we started knitting, then place it in the ones in position D. So you do that gently, one after the other. Once you do that by the left side and the right side, you can now start either by the left or right hand side and just place them inside the stitches. Very easy to knit, very, very easy. After that, you now bring out all of them. That's the ones in position B, which is the working position, and the ones in position D that we just worked on. You bring them out to position E, then knit 2 times. Now because you are working with a fair owl punch card, a fair owl design, now you place your fair owl punch card inside the pattern box. So you just roll it inside till you are seeing number 1 or number 2. There's also a straight line for you to see it. In case you don't pass your punch card inside the pattern box very well, you just remove it and place it back. Once you are done with this, I'm going to knit 2 times and make sure your button, because I'm using Brother Cage 811, make sure your button is in front. Now instead of me to knit 2 times, I'll knit once first because I want to work with the fair owl design. Then I now switched it to tension 9. Then the knob where I just showed you, you move it to number 2. So once you check your carriage, you see number 1, number 2, number 3. There's a reason for all those numbers. Then you press the middle button because you're working with double strand of yarn. That's for the fair out design. Then you will now pass your second strand through the antenna down to, you see like a very small arrow. The long arrow is for the body where you are seeing the neon color, while the second arrow is for the fair out design. Now you will now knit. Sometimes when you knit at once, it doesn't pick the black needle. You just select the stitches for the design, then you continue. Once you knit the second time, it's going to pick. As you can see, it's picked. Now I'm going to now knit 144 times because I'm making a very long socks, so you just keep knitting and it keeps rolling and rolling. So I'm going to knit 144 times because it's a very long socks that will get to the knee part. Now after you knit 144 times, because our knee part stroke lap is bigger than the down part of our leg before you get to the ankle, so I'm going to do like a reduction. Now that I've gotten to 144, I'm going to reduce. So you can just take the edge backward a little bit, reduce. You are doing like decrease. You reduce 1 by the left hand side, then reduce again 1 by the right hand side, and knit 3 times. Now because we did 43, we are going to do that till we get to 33. That's the reduction, meaning you transfer 1 to the other side, you transfer 1 to the other side because it's a decrease, then knit 3 times. Very important. Till you get to 33, you see the shape. It's almost like a triangular shape here, triangular shape. Now you can see it here. I've done the reduction from 43 to 33. After that, because I've gotten to 33, you will now knit 50 times. Because as I said, this is long socks. You will now knit 50 times. So now that I've knitted 50 times, we are now going to start the whole part. That is for our ankle part. We are going to start that one, and please, I really want you to pay attention to this part because it can be very tricky, but just watch closely. Now because I knitted 50 times and I ended at my left hand side, I am also going to put it on holding position. Once I put it, now I've kept it on holding position, I'm going to bring out my right hand side because I want to work on my left hand side. I'll bring out my right hand side from point 0 to 33. the opposite direction. I'm bringing them out to position E because I don't want to work on them. Position E. Now I want to work on my left hand side. Then it's advisable for you to also use hanging weights. Very, very important because sometimes it drops. So to avoid that drop stitch, use your hanging weight. Now you're going to start you're bringing 8 you bring out the first needle, knit once, bring out the first needle, knit once. So I'm doing 1 1 2 2 till I get to 8 So just watch closely. Then the second one, you bring it out, that's 2, knit once, bring it out again, then knit once. So I'm doing that till I get to 8 till I bring out the 8 1 by my left hand side and 8 1 by my right hand side. Then we'll now take them backwards. So this is the part. So 8 times, I love to use 8. So this is what I've done: 8 by the left hand side and 8 by the right hand side. Now the next part is for you to take them back, and for you to take them back, you're working in the opposite direction. Now you're now moving from position E, where it is at now, to D. Position E to D, the opposite direction. You just move it a little bit slightly to position D, then knit once. It will automatically go back to position B. You do that again, move it back. So we are doing 1 1, mean 1 you knit, 1 you knit, till you get to 8. So 1 knit, 1 knit. So at the end you are going to see that deep hole. You see the deep hole. So now this is the 8th one. So you just take it back, then knit, then the last part you take it back, then knit. So I've done my left hand side. So this is what I'm talking about, the deep hole that I'm talking about. After that, you will now lock the I'm not locking the cam box, the carriage rather. You just move it back. After you do that, you are now going to knit 55 times. I just did that now. Once you knit once, they will automatically go back. That's the ones by my right hand side. Then you now knit 55 times because we want it to end at the opposite part. That is the right hand side. Now that I've knitted 55 times, what we did at first for the creation of the first hole is what we are going to do again. So you just switch it, meaning you put your carriage on holding position, then the left hand side, which is selected, to just bring them out from point 0 to 33. You bring it out, then do what I did the other time, meaning the first stitch close to the can box, you bring it out, you knit once because you are doing 8 8. So you bring it out, then knit, then bring out the first one to knit. So we are going to do 8 8. So bring one out, knit, bring one out, knit. So we bring out 8 8. After we bring out 8 8, we're now going to take them backward. And for us to take them backwards, it's the one at the 8th one rather, you move it back at the opposite direction. I've brought out 8 8. So you just move from position E to D slightly, then knit, you move it backward again, then knit till you are done, till you are finally done. That's by the right hand side, till you are finally done by the right hand side. So once you are done, you will now knit. But before you knit, you take it back, you take the knob back, then knit once. So I'm done with this. I'm doing the last one, then take it back a little bit. After this, you take the knob backward and knit once. Now after you knit once, I'm still going to knit 2 times because I'm done with it. So I've taken it back, then I'll knit once. So after you knit once, the punch card, the fair out punch card, that's the black one that I use, you just cut it out because we are done. We now have to switch to stockinette knit. So this is the fair out design we just did. So before you do that, you take the knob back to number 1, then press any button, it will come out, the middle part will come out. So you just cut out the black one because we are done with it. So we're already done knitting the socks, the long socks. So you're going to see it once I'm done. Then knit 2 times. Now after you knit 2 times, as I said earlier on, I might not use the long needle to cast out. So I love to use the manual knitting parts. I just cast out like that using the manual knitting method. So this is the finished look of the socks. Now I want to also show you the finishing of how I did the doubling part. You can see how neat it is, and I would like you to try it out. It is very, very neat. Like, this is like my favorite part to do. Then you just cast out using the manual knitting method. And this manipulating method is almost like how you create your armhole rather. This is how you do it. So we are just casting out everything. We're casting out everything. So once I am done, I will now show you how the socks looks like and how my model wore it the very first time when I used it for a shoot. So what I did, once you see it, what I did was that I just played with different patterns. But for this one, I just used like one pattern. So for you to use different pattern, it's just for you to just switch the punch cards. That's just it. So now that you're done, make sure you take everything back to position A, and this is the final look. Very neat, really nice. I really love these socks. Like, I made sales when I made the socks at first. And once you are done, make sure you change your row counter to 000 in case you want to need something else. You don't have to continue. So yeah, this is the finished look of the socks. I love this. I love the pattern. I love the colors. Really nice. Really, really nice. So that's the first hold I did, and the second hold I did. So the next thing for you to do is just to join it. Just join the side. And here is it. This is the final look of when my model wore it. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye.